Day trading recap for Monday, April 6th, 2020. And today was a great day for the SPY. Good news coming out of basically the coronavirus front that things are looking better. We may have peaked in certain areas of the world. Things are probably starting to move because of that. You can see the SPY was doing really well. It dipped a little at the open, but then once it broke back through VWAP, it just took off. So it's looking really good overall for the market. So you can see that little gap up, and then it's kind of going. If it breaks this level right here, it starts to move back to the 200 moving average. That could be really good for the market. So yeah, but some of the stocks that were really moving, CCL was really on the move today. It's been hurt obviously because of the whole pandemic and cruise lines being hurt. So I didn't take it. I wanted to take it early on, but you could see at 9:30 kind of dipped back to VWAP and it kind of flirted with it. There was no real, move here, but then it did break through. I was in another trade, but it did break through eventually at around after 10, over 9:59, and went all the way up to about 10:03 or so, 10:05. So that was a nice little opening range break if you got that. So CCL was moving. LK, another one that was, still having trouble with all that news. You can see on the daily candles that it's still dipping down. It broke that low of 2 days ago, so it's below that. I don't know what's in store for this with all the mess that came out of that apparent fraud or whatever with the COO or whatever happened. So yeah, tough one. If you thought maybe it was going to bounce, it's not looking that good right now. But yeah, so I took those are the two top ones in my list for volume today, was CCL and LK. But I actually up there right now. It's only like fifth on my list. You can see on my pre-market actives, BAC, which is Bank of America, and that moved up quite a bit. So you can see it gapped. I'll zoom in a little here. You can see it did gap up from yesterday. Everything looks like this is a very big financial mover, obviously Bank of America. So if this starts to level off here and starts moving up, that'd be great. But it did gap up, and that's why it was in my pre-market, because it was gapping. And so I was watching it early on, and you can see what I did here. Let me pop this open on the 1-minute chart. So big volume to start the day, a lot of volume, big green candle, and then it drifted back to VWAP, but then it held it, and then it kind of formed a little shelf here. I probably should have waited until it broke the opening range, but you can see that I got in at 21. What did I get in at? 21.17. Put my stop below VWAP, so I didn't have to put it very far. I think it was just around 21.05 or 21.06, like 12 cents or something like that. 21.17 I got in, and then I had a nice little move up, and it was moving so quick and so fast that I partialed out before I got to my 2R, which was at 21. Partial out at 21.35, about a third of my shares. And then it did hit my 2R, but I held on. I wanted to try and get to my 3R if possible, but moving my stop up. So as soon as I partial out here, I moved my stop up to my break-even point. So no matter what came back down, I was going to be in the black for this trade. So, but it moved up even more, shot through my 2R, my first target, and then as soon as it tipped my 3R, I took out another third right here, which was good because it did dip back down. It had another little move up. You can see there's a little bit of a double top here, up, down, and then down again. So I didn't take advantage of that second move up because I got out the rest of my shares here right at my 2R. So as soon as I hit my 3R, I moved my stop up from break even to my 2R. And basically I was doing that because it's not, this isn't part of my rules, but if a stock moves up and it hits one of my R's, I usually move my stop up to the risk return below it. That way I'm guaranteed that if it turns around, it'll hit that, and I'll still be able to get some shares out at one of my targets. It might be a little tight here. This is only 12 cents, so it doesn't give it much room, and you can see it kind of move back up again. I wish that I had put it a little bit lower, because then I probably would have scaled out a little bit once it got above my 3R. I might have moved my stop up a little bit, but still took advantage of a really nice move here. This little channel here was really nice, and basically it was based off VWAP. I was watching VWAP, how it held it, and then when it broke this little range here, I was confirmed that my trade was probably the right trade here. But yeah, that was it. Bank of America really moved it. Everything was moved. There's a lot to choose from today. You could have picked a ton of other stocks, like I showed it. One of the trades I could not pull the trigger on early on. I'm kind of glad it was a little whippy. Was MU, which is always in my list, and MU is just going crazy today. And it did gap up. You can see it gapped up today, which is why it gapped up more than AMD from here to here in the pre-market. So that's why I was looking at it early on. But when you look at the action here, look at those topping tails early on. The first minute candle here, the first 1 minute candle, I wanted to get in at around 43.56 once it broke 43.50. I was thinking of this 1 minute opening range break, but this candle wick was too high, so it technically didn't even qualify. But you could see it started moving up off of that, and I almost got in, which I wish I did, because it went all the way up to about 43.95. Could have gotten in around 60, so maybe a 30-cent gain, but it didn't really drop that far below VWAP after that. So if you put your stop high enough, or wide enough, you could have taken advantage of this move. But you'd have to have withstood a lot of this whippiness early on to be able to take advantage of this, and it was just kind of tough. So that's why I didn't trade it, but it's kind of dipping now back to VWAP. But yeah, Bank of America was the one for me, and I took an advantage. Now see, look, it's already gone down below where my stop was really just originally set, because I think the SPY is dipping a little. So market's kind of whippy today. It's strong, but it's still hard to judge where it's going to go, and it just drags so many stocks with it. So that's it. Hopefully be back tomorrow with another day trade. I'm probably going to be late with anything tomorrow because I'm trying to set up a new monitor, and I might not be able to do that with enough time to start trading in the morning, but we'll see.